everybody, and thank you for joining us for the Bible story portion of our VBS. Tonight we're going to be talking about faith. What is faith? In our Bibles, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Faith is more than just hope. Faith is understanding that even if you can't see Him and are just getting to know Him, you can trust in God. Know obeying Him will keep you safe and believe that He has the ability to save you. Developing a strong faith means more than believing there is a chance that heaven will one day be our home. Faith is a convicted assurance that God is real and His word is true and faithful. One of the obstacles that keeps many people from growing a strong faith is their inability to see God. While we cannot physically see God Himself, we can be assured of His presence by many of the other things that we do see. We shouldn't doubt that God will keep His promises. God has promised that He will always be with us. One of the last promises Jesus made to His disciples before He left this earth was, "I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Matthew 28:20. The proof that God is always with us exists all around us in what may seem like everyday occurrences. The rising of the sun, the shining of the stars, the blooming of the flowers, and the murmur of the breeze are all evidences of the presence of God. These are the types of things that are easily ignored if we are not aware of their significance. Sadly, like a ship passing by at sea, God often passes us by completely undetected. We should have faith that He will keep His promises to us, and that in turn will strengthen our faith. The story we're going to have tonight is about the prophet Elijah from the Old Testament. You can find this story as lesson 1 in the books that you have at home. Elijah was a good man, and he always tried to have a strong faith in God. But there was a time when Elijah was feeling all alone. He was afraid because Jezebel, the queen of Israel, wanted to kill him. Elijah ran and ran and ran until he came to Mount Horeb. Many people believe that Mount Horeb, also called Mount Sinai, was the place where God lived. Perhaps that's why Elijah went there. Elijah did find God at Mount Horeb, but not in the way he expected. God sent a great wind that passed in front of Elijah, but God was not in the wind. God then sent an earthquake to pass in front of Elijah, but God was not in the earthquake. Then God sent a fire to pass in front of Elijah, but God was not in the fire either. After all these things passed by, God showed up. The Bible tells us that God appeared to Elijah in a still, small voice, much like the sound of a gentle breeze. Elijah learned that day a lesson that we all should learn. God has the power to perform great miracles, but He can also be discovered in common, everyday occurrences. So what about some questions? If you want to comment your answers, you can do that. Why did Elijah run away? God asked Elijah, "What are you doing here?" In your own words, what was Elijah's answer? And in what way did God finally appear to Elijah? At times, most of us are like Elijah. We want God to make Himself visible to us in great or miraculous ways. We read stories from the Bible about how God's presence was revealed through fire, miracles, or the sound of His actual voice. While we look for these revelations, we often miss His presence in a more subtle, ordinary way. Close your eyes for just a minute and be very quiet. Okay, open your eyes. What are some things you might have heard that otherwise were undetected? Did you hear the ticking of a clock, the whirring of an air conditioner, or the sound of passing traffic, the beat of your heart? or the breath of someone sitting next to you. We often tune out those things which are constant or normal. The same is true of God. His presence can be seen all around us if we will be still, open our eyes, and observe. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now you can enjoy a craft.